pops into life. Yeah. Is mic on? Yes. Okay. Well, maybe I should, before I record, maybe I should check everything first, but I don't do that. This is like, oh, the unplugged everything. Oh, now it's on. This is like your, okay, you have, I know you have all the polished stuff on YouTube. This is the punk rock of YouTube. Okay. This is how YouTube is supposed to be. I've been watching this guy, Mark Manson, I think, you know, and all these other guys. So many, so many rich white guys are telling me what to do all the time. It's annoying. And they got all the, and they have the jump back. It's like, I say something, and there's a jump cut, and then you say something, and there's a jump cut, and then it's like, let me have this protein shake, and let me let me do this thing. Oh, it's like, and they buy they buy the thing that you're supposed to clip on with the clip-on mic, right? Okay, they got the, and they hold the clip-on mic. The clip-on mic is supposed to be clipped on, okay? This is not a mic, this is actually a battery. You're supposed to clip it on your lapel. And then talking like this, like, and they're the ones who are professional, right? You know. And I've told you how many times on this channel, I'm the only one with a real background. You see? That background is real. Nobody else on all of YouTube has a real background. They just have some wallpaper. And people telling me about diets and sports drinks and dry January and, you know, illicit files. And, it's like, I'm so sick of dudes telling other dudes what to do. Don't follow nobody, please. These muscle heads don't know nothing. You know what? Make a choice between electricity and food. And let me tell you, and then let me see where you are in life. Make a choice between electricity and food. Anyway, so this episode might see. I got my head shaved. I got to shape up. Look at that, huh? Look at that. I look like some evil villain from the '90s. '90s villain. So if we go over today, or I look like Bert from Sesame Street. So if we go over today, I don't care. I might edit this together because not so much I have a lot to say, but I guess a lot's happened. So this, I guess what I really wanted to do was put all this horse stuff into perspective. And that's been what's been on my mind today, because I threw together a very short mini documentary. I'll put the link in this whatever I'm doing. I'll put the link below. Below what? It's not real space. I actually moved the horse out today from this event space. Anyway, I was just going through this whole thing of trying to figure out cosmically what this all means, because this has been like a big side mission, like a GTA side mission, and I don't even know what any of this is for. I don't understand. Life has its own, it's just so many. It's like a traffic jam in my head. So you have nature, right? Nature has its own clock. 4 seasons, blah, blah, blah. Trees bloom, trees die, winter, spring, summer, fall. Then you have your nature, then, your timeline, how long you live, your body. Then the universe has its own, whatever, the solar system. And then you have all this dreamscape stuff, like your dreams and stuff, and how that is all divided up in time. And then there's also this cosmic stuff that happens. Now, whether you want to call it luck or coincidence or whatever, that there is this undercurrent of the universe that has its own agenda. And I've been trying to find what was the goal of this whole thing, of finding this horse in the trash, have it reworked by another artist, then being in a show, and that show was really, what she did with the horse that I found was much more than I would ever do. But then you think about, what's the point? Was the point to make money? I didn't make money on this horse. I didn't. I don't think I became a better person. It's this trying to find. No one really goes into, or however people think. There's always this feeling that everything has to have a goal. And obviously, people in this society, in this present day America in 21st century, capitalism always seems to be the goal. And then also, or you have relations with someone. I don't know. Either the goal is sex or the goal is money. And then you have these objects and things that are going on. Like, what was the goal of this piece? What was the, I'm trying to scale back and put this all in a cosmic timeline to the beginning of like why and what and where all this started. So I don't know if that's entertaining at all, but this is me just putting it. I don't care if you watch. I don't care if you subscribe or like. I don't care if you like me. The hell with you. This is not about you, for once. Um, so a couple of years ago, I made a phone call from this vending company that had these horses and other rides, whatever. Called a guy. We worked out kind of a deal to kind of like I would upcycle them or upscale them, whatever they call it, glam up. Okay, I'll use that word. That's kind of what I did, glam up these rides. I worked really hard on it, and the project kind of like died. Well, I didn't get the funding. I come across this ride on the street, and it's the very same actual ride that I have here at my studio, exactly the same, and one that I know to work on because it's my first one that I worked on. And then somebody threw that away. Now, let's go to like the gallery that I dropped this thing off at. I knew the guy only from the street art scene, the owner, the curator, in brief, but the horse was in proximity to the gallery. Now, the woman who worked on the ride is actually a friend of my ex-girlfriend's who she kind of sponsored to come down here to work on stuff. And I knew her stuff, but I haven't seen her for years and she doesn't even remember me. And for someone I haven't seen for years, when I roll this animal ride to the gallery, she happens to be the artist in resident there. There's a couple of people artists in resident, but she happens to be the one that has a concept and knows what to do with it. So someone that I met randomly during the pandemic through an ex, then we crossed paths again in a completely different environment. Then the horse, it's going to be the year of the horse in a couple of days. So here I find a horse, and she made a fire horse in honor of the fact that it's going to be a fire horse year. Then the gallery, the address of the gallery is my birthday. It's 2/19. I am supposed to be celebrating a milestone birthday in about 10 days. There you go, there too. Also, and now I'm in this honeymoon period, and I specifically didn't do this. I went to the show last night, and I met another artist there that's at the gallery who hasn't been there because they've been out of town. And wow, this is when I spoke to this girl, I was ready to propose. Like she was this very attractive, very bubbly, bright girl, and I would have ran into a store and bought a ring. Like I haven't felt anything in a long, long time. Like I've been pretty much really cold and nothing on the inside. Like nothing really hit me in terms of people or women especially. When I saw it was like something popped in. I felt so full and full of light. Like she just left me that way, and I didn't ask any details whether or not she has a boyfriend. I don't even know if she's even straight. You know how it is in this business. So kind of just exchanged numbers, left it at that. I'm probably going to have to do some research, or at least get some intel. But I'm kind of in this honeymoon period where like I felt like I met someone magical, and I want to keep the magic in my mind before like everything goes to pieces, right? I'm trying to be in this my own honeymoon state, and it's crazy because it's just like I'm just one piece of information from being like brokenhearted once again. But I kind of just want to leave it floating. So you think like, okay, well, the piece didn't sell. I don't think anything really was sold yesterday at this art event. It's just like, but wouldn't it be a great romantic story to kind of like, yeah, like, in the end, like not only do I find a horse in the trash, but like, you get a new girlfriend or something out of it as well. Like you did all this effort. Oh, so yeah, I don't care if this runs over. I'm going to edit this. Did I say that already? Maybe. So, like, so I'm understanding, trying to understand this cosmically. So, if I just left the horse in the trash, that's all. Like if I just left it, all I had to do was just leave it. And I guess all this side mission stuff, sidebar stuff, would have never have happened, never would have evolved, because it evolved into something really very, very weird. We're going to a weird place. We're in a very unexpected place. And then I think about all the times that I've let things go, or like didn't try, or like didn't. Like, I'm like, did I not dig through the trash enough? Did I not take enough chances to do something? Because it's just like you take that moment, you take that chance, you do something, and then it just opens up an entire brand new world. Like I didn't have any relationship with this gallery before, and then all of a sudden, like I became friends with a couple of people there. I like everyone there for the most part. Um, we had a good time yesterday. Nothing crazy. Also like not. I'm also abstaining, so that also puts a damper on things. But it wasn't like everyone got trash or something. Um, but this whole like idea that that what I've been missing. Have I been missing something? Like, and I can't even recall. Like, did I, not go to the trash this way? Because this thing just kind of really went on a tangent, from finding it, leaving it, trying to work on it, then other people really being excited, and then it just created this momentum behind it. And I'm like, is that all that is? It's like, and then think about it in terms of luck. I'm like, I did like I've I have problems with luck. I talk about luck all the time. And does this have any? And it's like this had nothing to do with luck. This had everything to do with just like force and you know f- putting your foot in the door and then trying to make things happen. But it's, yeah, like I said, what have I been missing? And trying to understand, like, what does it really mean? Like what it was so important about this? Was it important? What in like the universe's clock and in the universe's mind that said like, yeah, let's have this happen because it's on its own mission. When people call it God's plan, I understand that there's like a whole God's plan thing. Maybe that's what they mean by it. Maybe that's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about that those things are just happening, um, in the that's like almost like in the real world, like, and then that is not motivated by profit or by really by